Oh man, I don't want to make this video. Okay. My name is Crystal, and my husband and I, his name is Steve. We live on just over 3 acres on a nature preserve. And we are trying to, build a life of being as self-sustainable as we are able to. As just 2 average people raising a family. We have 2 kids that we homeschool, and we are expecting a 3rd in December. It's been a challenging year, to say the least, on so many different levels of things that go on in our life. These past 2 weeks have really been the frosting on the crap cake, if we can call it that. About a year ago, we bought a couple of Nigerian dwarf goats who we love very, very much. And we are planning on building a barn, and we hope to get even more goats and eventually breed them and get milk and do all the things with that. But for now, we had the 2, and we've been using them to clear out certain sections of our property as we need cleaned out, and they've done an amazing job with that. About 2 weeks ago, one of our goats was acting really weird, and I thought it was just like goat bloat, that maybe she just ate too much and needed some baking soda, or it was just a simple fix. And I even texted the woman that we had bought our goats from, and she kindly replied very quickly and just said, had recommended that we call a vet. And she recommended her vet, which we have a vet who does large animal care. Her vet was closer, so we were hoping to get them out here, and we called them for an emergency call, and they told us that they don't come out for non-clients, which was weird. But regardless, we ended up calling our own vet and bringing our goat Tina in, and it turned out she had somehow in a freak thing, we weren't really sure yet what it was. It was either listeria or polio. But looking back now, it was for sure listeria. She had potentially gotten it from a cut in her mouth. Listeria somehow got into her system that way. We were really hopeful that she was going to be fine, and I actually recorded everything that we went through with it, but I can't bring myself to edit it right now. We did end up having to put her down a week ago after a lot of medical intervention. We tried. We did everything we possibly could to save her, and it just, once she wasn't eating after 2 days, and she was super dehydrated, and we actually paid to have her hospitalized on IV and stuff, and it just wasn't, nothing was working. The night before we ended up having to put Tina down, we have another goat named Louise. And Louise was not cool with being alone. Goats like to be in a herd. They like to be in a group. We were starting to panic. We didn't want Louise to get sick or anything like that because she was stressed out from being by herself. So we actually had our dog Homer, who looks like a goat, out there a lot. And he kept her company. We didn't have him in there with her because we didn't want him getting hurt, but we couldn't leave him out there overnight because he's an indoor dog. He's not a guardian dog. He's one of our house dogs. So I once again contacted our friend, and she said that she had a goat that she was willing to part with. I went over there that night and was able to get a new goat, a 6-month-old goat, and it made a huge difference for Louise. She was, thrilled to have somebody with her. There was a little bit of pushing around at first, and but that has since chilled out quite a bit. Now, during all of this, Steve got sick, and then he tested positive for COVID. So he is still quarantined in our basement because he is still testing positive, and we just don't want to risk the kids getting sick, or me. I'm pregnant. We don't want to risk me getting sick, so we're waiting for him to test negative before he can, resume daily life. We've been going through this whole process separately, together, but separately, because he's been separated from us. So that's been adding an extra layer of stress. He's doing well, other than the fact that he doesn't want to be separated from his family anymore. But he hangs out with us outside, and we just take it day by day with that. As far as the goats go, we don't know how she got it 100%. She could have gotten a cut in her mouth somewhere, like on the property, eating pricker bushes or something like that. We had bought hay from a guy a town over, and it could have been the hay that gave her listeria. We have since gotten rid of that hay. We bought good quality hay from the farm store in town just because we were paranoid on how she got something like that. So we've just been super vigilant, more so than we normally are, with making sure that their waters are clean, that their stall is cleaned, and doing the best that we can, because I don't want this to happen again. Like, it was awful, and we get really attached to our animals. We aren't a normal homestead where we raise meat here yet. My husband likes, has got his hunting license and things like that, and we have chickens that we get eggs from and stuff, and we hope to have the dairy goats and things like that. And we grow lots of vegetables here, but as far as our animals go, they're our pets still, and we really love them, and we were all really heartbroken that happened. So we're gonna walk over, and I'm gonna introduce you to our new goat, who is so adorable. This is Louise over here, and then this is, we call her Bonnie. The family we got her from, they called her Fleur. I think I'm pronouncing that right, but the kids had a really hard time saying that name. We ended up calling her Bonnie. She really, really, really likes to jump. We've found her on top of the goat house here, and also she likes to jump on the trash can that we store their grain in. And we found her on top of the hay thing, which is different for us because Louise and Tina weren't ones to jump high. Looking out the window and seeing Bonnie Belle on top of high places and then flying down like a fairy was a little bit alarming. The other thing about Miss Bonnie here is that there is a small chance that she is pregnant. I found that out when we picked her up, that there's a possibility she might be pregnant. We're not really sure on that, so we're just gonna continue to keep an eye on her and see how she's doing. We would feel better if we had a couple more goats here, just in case something does happen where we have to separate them or quarantine them, or one of them gets sick or whatever. We aren't scrambling to go and get another goat last minute. So that's what's been going on these past couple of weeks. We had to say goodbye to one of our goats, and Steve had COVID. We're just taking everything day by day and looking forward to the new year. Getting back to some normalcy here. I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.